Hello guys, how are you today? Now that we are done in making an embroidery product, we will move on to our new lesson, which is crocheting. What is crocheting, guys? What comes into your mind when you hear the word crocheting or crochet? Crochet is a process of creating textiles by using a crochet hook to interlock loops of yarn, thread, or strands of other materials. Ito yung isang klase ng pagtatahi na ginagamitan ng hook at yarn. Nang sa ganon, makapag-produce ng crochet product. Ayan. Crocheting is a centuries-old craft that takes its name from the French word croc, which means hook. Okay? Hooks can be made from a variety of materials, such as metal, wood, plastic, or bamboo. Ayan. Crocheting is a fun and relaxing hobby, and at the same time, it is easy to learn. Kahit anong ginagawa mo, nakaupo ka, nakahiga ka, pwedeng-pwede kang makagawa ng crochet product kasi nga napakadali niyang matutunan. Ayan. Crochet uses an enormous amount of yarn to produce pieces of fabric which were much more economically produced by the ancient techniques of netting, sprung, or knitting. Ayan, kinakailangan natin ng maraming yarn nang sa ganon makapag-produce tayo ng maraming crochet product. Kasi kung kukunti lang yung yarn natin, kukunti lang din yung magagawa natin. Ayan. Ang tanong, no, paano nga ba nagsimula ang paggawa ng ganitong klase ng produkto? Paano nga ba tayo na-impluwensyahan? And based on research, it was while Ireland was developing its lace industry that the US took up crocheting. It soon became a household activity that was loved by many American settlers. Ayun, nung dinedevelop pa lang ng bansang Ireland ang paggawa ng ganitong klase ng produkto, ginamit ito or inadapt ito ng taga-US hanggang sa ginawa na nila, hanggang sa minahal na nilang ganitong paggawa ng ganitong klase ng produkto, hanggang dumating yung time na naging maganda yung pamumuhay nila. Alright? When sewing was considered a function, no, crochet was entertainment. Ginawa na nila itong libangan sa pang-araw-araw na nilang pamumuhay. Pero nagkaroon ng hindi maganda nun kasi nagkaroon ng World War II. Kaya nawala yung time nila, yung passion nila sa paggawa ng ganitong klase ng produkto. Ayan. When the war ended, crochet was back in the limelight and women turned it into a hobby to create a luxurious they desired. Ayun, nung natapos na yung World War, bumalik na yung time nila, yung passion nila sa paggawa ng mga ganitong klase ng produkto hanggang nakakagawa na sila ng mga magaganda at mamahaling crochet product. Ayan, hanggang sa ma-develop na rin, hanggang sa ma-impluwensya na rin yung mga taga-ibang bansa, pati na rin tayo, nakakagawa na rin tayo ng mga ganyang klase ng produkto. Okay? When it comes in crocheting, there are only two basic supplies that are needed. What are those? The yarn and the hook. Yan lang yung tanging supplies na kinakailangan natin para makagawa tayo ng crochet product. Alright? Using this popular needlecraft, you can create fashion and home decor such as tops, poncho, doilies, bedspreads, scarves, no, tablecloth, as well as a myriad adorable items just for babies. Ayan. Once you have learned how to make different kinds of crochet stitches, it is easy for you to make a different kinds of crochet product. Once kasi natutunan mo yan, madali na lang para sa'yo na makagawa ng iba't ibang klase ng produkto. And like what I've said before, if you have the ability or skill to make this kind of product, you can make money from it. All right, just like in embroidery. Okay, and top. Top is an item of crochet product that's made of yarn that usually covers at least the chest, no? But usually covers the most of the upper human body between the neck and the waistline. Ayan. Ponchos. Poncho is designed to keep the body warm. Ayan, kung makikita nyo. A hat. A hat is a head covering that's made of yarn also, no? Which is worn for various reasons, including protection against weather conditions, okay, safety, and for fashion accessory. Ayan. And scarves, no? The scarf, it is a piece of cloth or it's a piece of crochet product that's worn around the neck or around the head for warmth, cleanliness, sun protection, and also for fashion accessory. Ayan. Next, doily. What is doily? Doily is a mat that's made of yarn. Ayan. It's used for protecting surfaces and binding flowers and also in food service presentation. You can also use doily as an accessory. Pwede mo siyang gawing pan-display. Pwede mong ipatong dyan yung flower vase mo. Pwede mo yang ilagay sa lamesa, patungan ng mga plato. Alright? Tablecloth is a big crochet product that's made of yarn also, no? Used to cover a cloth, which may help or which may also help protect the table from scratches and from having stains. Ayan. And also bedspread. You can also use a bedspread that's made of yarn, no? Giving it a formal look to your bed. Ayan, napakaganda kung makikita nyo, no? And last one, shoes. Shoes is an adorable item just for babies. Ayan. Kapag natutunan mo na ang paggawa ng ganyang mga basic stitches, crochet stitches, madali na lang para sa'yo na makagawa ng ganyang klase ng produkto. Alright? Of course, we cannot make a finished product without knowing the tools and equipment or materials needed in crocheting. Ayan. The first one is yarn needles. Yarn needles are one of the most important tools when it comes to crocheting. Why? Because it is what we use to make crochet product. Without it, we cannot make a different kinds of crochet stitches. Ayan. If you can see, it has different sizes and different dimensions depending on the product that you want to do. Alright? Ayan. Scissor, small pointed pair to trim yarn ends and cut yarn. Ayan. It's important to use scissor to cut off excess yarns because we cannot use our teeth to cut yarn. Pwede natin siyang gamitin, pero it will not be accurate or you will not have a good outcome when it is cut. Alright? Hindi siya maganda, hindi magandang pamputol yung ngipin natin. That's why scissor is also important when it comes in crocheting. Alright? Next, pins. Glass-headed for blocking crochet, plastic-headed for pinning crochet pieces together. The main purpose of pins are um, it enhances and beautifies your crochet projects. Sa papaanong paraan? Like for example, as you can see, kapag malaki na yung crochet product mo, pwede mo siyang ipin sa bawat corner. Nang sa ganon, maipagpatuloy mo pa yung ginagawa mo at magawa mo siya ng maigi at maayos. Alright? Next, clips. used for holding crochet pieces together when seaming. Alright? We use clips so that our crochet product does not get messy and so that it does not move when we are working. It helps us to facilitate our work when making a crochet product. Ayan. Kaya napaka-useful din ng clips. Next, tape measure with inches and centimeters to measure your work. It's also important. Tape measure is also important when making a crochet product. Why? In order to know how long and how short our products are. In that way, we will know how fast we can work. Sa ganung paraan, malalaman natin kung gaano kahaba o kaiksi yung gagawin natin at yung mga natatapos natin. Okay? Next, ruler. Good for measuring blocks and small items. You can also use ruler to help you count the number of stitches per inches. Ayan. Whatever tool you use, be sure your crochet is flat on a table and that the measuring device is lying parallel to your rows of stitches. Kapag susukatin mo yan, dapat yung crochet product mo, dapat flat siya. Nang sa ganon, masukat mo siya ng tama. Alright? Next. Size gauge. Good for checking the size of your hooks. And also, it can be described as a device for measuring the quantity of your crochet product. For example, to determine thickness, gap in space, diameter of um, crochet product, or a device that displays the measurement of the crochet. Okay? Dito, malalaman mo through the use of gauge, malalaman mo kung gaano kadami o yung kabuuan ng nagawa mong crochet product. Kung gaano siya kalapad, kung gaano siya kalaki, something like that. Alright? Next, stitch marker. Extremely helpful so you can count stitches or rows. Stitch marker is a mnemonic device used to distinguish important locations on a work in progress. It serves as a visual reference that takes the place of continuous stitch counting and reduces a crocheter's error. Magandang gamitin ang stitch marker, lalong-lalo na kapag gumagawa ka ng chains. Like for example, kapag meron ka ng 10 chains, yung pang 10 chains, ang pang 10 chain, lalagyan mo siya ng stitch marker and that indicates that you have 10 chains. Kapag ipagpapatuloy mo yon, kapag nakagawa ka na naman ng pang 20 na chain, no, lalagyan mo na naman siya ng stitch marker and so on and so forth. Nang sa ganon, hindi ka na mahirapan sa pagbibilang. Alright? Next. Notebook and pen for tracking pattern changes and measurements. And notebook and pen are also important when it comes or when we are making a crochet product so that we can record how many chains to make, centimeters and inches, and most especially so that we can also write how many products we finish and make. Ayan. Kasi kapag hindi natin siya inililista, pwede natin siyang makalimutan. Alright? That's why notebook and pen are also important when it comes to crochet. Alright? Next, plastic bags with compartment for keeping all your tools organized and easy to locate. Plastic bags with compartment is also important when it comes to crocheting. With the help of plastic bags, we can store our tools here so that it does not get lost and scattered para hindi sila nakakalat. And in that way, we can easily find them when we need them again. Alright? Next, hook storage. Use a plastic box or a zippered cosmetic bag to store your hooks. It's very useful to prevent breakage or damage to our hooks. That's why we need to put it in the correct pouch or in the right place so that they are not cluttered para hindi sila pakalat-kalat. At nang sa ganon, madali din natin silang mahanap kapag kakailanganin na natin sila. Okay? That's all for today guys, and I hope you learned a lot. At umaasa ako na may yung mga napag-aralan natin ngayon, may i-apply nyo siya kapag gumawa na kayo ng sarili nyong crochet product. And that's all for today guys. Thank you for listening and keep safe always.